Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Boozy Botanical Podcast. Woo! My name is Angelique,
And I'm Holly.
and we're back for the first episode of 2023.
Woo! Oh my gosh, happy New Year, you
It
guys. 2023. I'm
It's
already coming out with my stepping
Oh,
over my words.
don't even worry. You're totally fine. I know. I
Yeah.
can't believe we're here, Holly.
Happy 2023. I can't believe we're here either.
It's crazy, but I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. I just keep
Okay.
remembering our
This is another
show is a
year.
little like baby 2021 podcast.
I know.
Oh my God, our anniversary is coming up.
That's right. We were conceived in 2020.
That's right. We were incubating.
But we came into this world in 2021.
I know, this is amazing. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. For those of you watching, I can't find my center on the camera, so I'm very sorry. This is annoying to watch, but
it's been a long holiday break.
Oh my God, trying to set up this morning, I was just like, this is what we do every time. It felt like a lot of work.
Well, and it's funny because up until like we pressed record, I literally the last things were just kept on getting in the way.
Coming up. It's okay.
And then at the last second, I'm like, Angelique, I have something in my teeth. Hang on.
No, it's okay.
But we're here. We made it.
Well, speaking of teeth, Holly, what are you drinking?
Okay, so this is fun because you guys, I have a green smoothie, which I feel like I wasn't planning on drinking a green smoothie on the podcast. It's honestly just like my leftover breakfast, but I thought, you know what? That's kind of fitting. Like, New Year, trying to get fit and whatnot. But it's fun because it's from all the greens are actually from my garden.
Ooh, can you outline what's in there?
Yes, we mostly have kale, mint, and then I was out of coconut water, which I normally like to put in my smoothies, but it is with almond milk.
Ooh,
I put some lime. I put my protein powder, and that's kind of it. It was very simple today. Oh, and then of course the berries are strawberries and then pineapple actually. So
I love that.
It's really good. And I have it in this mason jar with a really thick metal straw. So it's a whole moment.
Cute. Did you substitute almond milk for the coconut water, or do you always put almond milk as well?
I don't. I usually, I just do because I love like bright green smoothies. And I also love the taste of coconut water, and it's very hydrating too. So that is my go-to. But I was like, you know what? This is fine. We'll make it work.
This does its thing. Yeah. It's all good.
It's really good. I wasn't sure how it would turn out. I was gonna drink it anyway because I'm trying to get my protein in, but she's good.
I like it.
What about you?
Today, I figured on the next episode, I'll bring back my bag of tricks. Josh's mom gave us a lot of shooters in our stocking for Christmas. So I've been able to replenish because I don't know if did I tell you guys? I think I might have mentioned on the last episode, my favorite liquor store that I go to for the shooters, a car drove into it.
You did not tell us.
Yeah.
What the heck?
They're operating again because I did have to go there like 2 weeks ago. This happened probably like 3.5, 4 weeks ago now because we haven't recorded in a while.
That's a quick comeback.
Oh my God. Well, like they still have like cardboard and stuff. They just were they were able to make it operable, but I saw pictures and stuff and like a full-on truck, a lady just like, I guess went forward instead of backwards.
Was everybody okay?
Everyone's okay. But to me, it's like, when you go over the little bump, don't you start to stop? But I guess fear and shock.
Was she an older lady?
I think they might have been. This is one of those things,
That reason I ask is because there's been a couple times where I've heard about that happening. Like when I used to live in Scottsdale, my mom actually worked at a salon, and that happened where this
woman
was like 90, first of all.
Okay.
And she was like, I thought I had it in reverse. And same thing. And she drove through the salon. So very scary. I know.
Oh my God. Well, they've bounced back, thankfully, but it was pretty bad at first. Like there was just alcohol everywhere, which is just a shame. With like how long like the process is to like
distill
exactly. But point being, I'm gonna go back to continue to replenish, but I have a few good upscale shooters that she gave us. Today, I'm just gonna bring on a seltzer called Happy Dad. Have you ever had it?
No, but that looks so cute.
Isn't it cute? It's like a cute version of a Bud Light as far as looks.
Yeah, it's very simple, almost like a Pabst sort of thing.
Oh, it does feel like PBR for sure.
Yes.
This one, it's gluten-free and it's I should have ASMR'd. Cool. I'm sorry, guys. It's fruit punch.
Oh,
and I'm gonna give it a try. Let's see. Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's like I think I had a sip of Josh's yesterday. It has like I can't even just. It does definitely have that fruit punch from when you were a kid sort of flavor
Does it
mixed with
taste
the
at all
seltzer. It
like
also claims that
the
there's electrolytes in it. I don't know how that makes sense, but
there you go, hydrating.
right at the same time.
I was gonna say, does it taste at all like the Arizona tea fruit punch that you like, but
Oh,
with an
I like that
alcohol
more.
taste? You
It
know what I
it
mean?
kind of tastes like that just with seltzer,
Mm,
but this one that one I think is a pinch sweeter.
got it. Maybe
A
which
little.
makes sense for sure.
Yeah, that does make sense, but it's good. We just got this at our local Ralph's, so Kroger, I think for you guys out there. I don't know, I think they're nationwide too, but yeah,
That looks so
they're
cute.
yummy. I think they're really cute. It's for those of you listening, it's a white can, and then the logo has like a diamond that says hard seltzer, and in between that, there's like a red, what you would see as a ribbon on a Paps, but like a red little sign that says Happy
Yeah.
Dad, and it's just
It's
cute.
it's so minimal and just so
Mhm.
cute. So
I
A
like it a lot.
plus.
Yes. Holly, oh my gosh. So, how are you? I think the
Yeah.
last time we spoke, you were getting ready to go to Arizona, but we haven't heard about AZ. I know you
That's
had a new year
right.
happen. I
Yes.
don't
You
know
want me to
what
go
year.
first?
Please. I don't know what you want to talk
Oh,
about, but I know there's
yeah.
options.
Yeah, well, I know we had a lot of fun in Arizona. We saw the snow. We saw Avatar with our family, so that was fun.
Oh, yay!
We what else? Oh, okay, so we had some extended family come over on Christmas Eve, and we always do a Mexican Christmas Eve.
I love.
So, oh my gosh, my great grandma used to make these small tortillas. They're flour tortillas, and so my aunt had the recipe, which I had no idea. So she's like, I'm bringing grandma's tortillas. And then also, my great grandfather had a salsa recipe, which, dude, I had never tried. Because honestly, I had never met him,
Yeah,
but I had heard a lot about his salsa, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, at the dinner, I heard a lot about it. Like, I had
right.
honestly never really known. And even my dad, he's like, yeah, I remember going to the grocery store and getting ingredients with him once. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, so good. So we had barbacoa meat, we had
Oh,
the tortillas, we had empanadas, which is also my great grandma's recipe. My sister and my mom each made what is the word? Enchiladas, one green, one red, so Christmas
oh,
style.
sounds so
Ah,
good.
it was so good. Like I was so happy because I have not had good Mexican food in so long.
Yes, I know.
So that was good. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. I mean, we really just did like the standard Christmas stuff. But it was very fun. It was honestly very busy. So
Yes.
we came back and then let me see. We had like a couple days and then we drove down to the Everglades
Oh, that's
and
right, when you got back to Florida.
yes, so we
Right.
got back. I'm trying to keep the timeline straight here. Yeah, we pretty much got back. We were
You
home
got
for
back
about
on
like
Tuesday,
yeah,
Tuesday night, the
I did.
27th,
Oh yeah. So then what did we do?
and
Oh,
you went to
okay.
the
So then
Everglades Friday, right?
yeah, okay.
I
So then
got it.
you know more about my schedule than
Well,
I
we were
do.
trying to figure out when to record, so that's why I remember.
I swear it's just been a blur.
Well,
So
Holly's been nonstop, guys. It's been crazy.
it has ever since like the middle of December. But so we went down to the Everglades and what's funny is like I love going out on the boat and all the nature and all that, but
Right.
truthfully, I love when we go down to the Everglades because it means we're going to go to Naples and go shopping, which is about
Yay! Is there
30 minutes.
outlets?
Well, not really, but if you guys aren't familiar with Naples, Florida, it is like the Beverly Hills of the
Mm.
west side
Oh,
of
it's
Florida.
bougie.
Very bougie.
Got it,
There's a
got it.
lot of money there, but it's also just beautiful. Like there's so much landscaping. It honestly reminds me a lot of like the OC, like Orange County and stuff. It just kind of has like that vibe.
Oh,
So
that's really cool.
yes, so Jen and I went to our favorite nursery called Williams Magical Garden. I did get a couple
Is this
plants.
what you did on New Year's Eve, right?
Yes, it was New Year's Eve, like in the
Ah,
daytime.
I love.
So
What did you
this
get?
was I actually got a variegated peace lily and it's the Jessica variety. I have the Domino. This one's the Jessica.
Oh my
So cute. It's really fun.
gosh.
It's like a mottled sort of variegation. I was going to show it to you guys, but I actually had to water it, so it's in my sink.
Oh no,
And
that's
then
okay.
I got a few pollinator plants. One is a drought tolerant plant, but it has a grassy look to it.
Oh,
And then
cute.
it's very cute. It also puts out these little yellow and orange, like dainty blooms. I'll show you guys a picture maybe on Instagram, but then if you also want to check out my TikTok, I did do a little plant haul. And then the last plant was called like a delphinium flower or something, but
Okay.
it's like a true blue flower. And it's a little bit more rare in nature to find true blue. It's always like maybe a magenta or like a purple.
Purple. Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Oh, that's really cool. So everything's for your garden?
Yes, except for the peace lily.
Right.
And then because her and I, out of like the Florida family, we're the only ones who like Thai food. We're like, we're getting Thai food. It
Oh
was
my
so
God. I
good.
love Thai.
I know. I had the Penang curry and she had a red curry. So good.
Ooh.
And then we drove home that afternoon. It's about a 4.5, almost 5 hour drive.
Oh,
And then by
wow. It's a
like,
little trip then.
by
Yeah.
9 p.m. we were home and we watched that new movie Glass Onion.
Oh, I watched it the last week.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty good.
It
So
was
we
fun. I liked the original Knives Out more. I
Oh,
don't know if you saw
yeah.
the first one, but
Oh, I
I know
did,
they're
yes.
separate, but I think I enjoyed that one more. But this one was like fun to watch, you
Yeah,
know?
and I feel like that's why maybe it's been getting some so-so reviews is because people are, like, maybe really comparing it to the Knives
But
Out,
it's
the
not the
first one.
same. It's just one character is the same.
Exactly. So,
Right.
I thought it was fun, and then 10 minutes before the ball dropped in New York, we, turned it on. So, because we always that's like a
Ah,
tradition. We watch the ball drop.
we normally do too.
I make it like such a thing. I'm like, "Tyson, stand up." He's like, "Why do we have to stand?" I'm like, "Because we need to cheers." I'm like, "And if you're planning on kissing me, it's in a better position." He's like, "Oh, yes, of course." So
Oh, that's cute.
it's cute.
Did you do this with the whole family or just you and Tyson?
Just me and Tyson. We
Oh,
were like
cool.
little hermits, but we loved it. We're just so tired.
Good. Well, it was pouring rain here.
Yeah, tell us about your New Year's Eve.
Oh my gosh. It
Did you guys
was
stay in or go out?
we stayed we had to cancel last minute because it was pouring so badly. It was raining
Oh.
insanely on Saturday and it was just too much. Like we had plans to meet up with friends at a bar at 10 p.m. and just do like a short hang until
Yeah.
midnight. And it was that place because like, you know how LA is. And for those of you that don't know, LA bars, a lot of them have covers for New Year's Eve. Like,
Mm.
there was a bar that's, like, a little, like it looks like a dive. It's, like, a very divey spot that we like to go to in Burbank, or I think technically in Toluca Lake, and they were charging a cover of $120 per
Are you
person.
serious?
It's insane because, like, they do a
I thought you were
lineup
gonna
of
say $10.
no, and it's all over LA. A lot of places are, like,
Do they
over
have a
100
band
bucks
or
to get it.
something?
They do a lineup of performances,
Oh,
food,
I
alcohol, so,
see,
like,
I
certain
see.
amounts of, like, drinks and food, I think, are included in that price, but
I
if you're
see,
not
yeah.
trying to ball out, like, we just wanna have one drink and talk to friends.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
in that sense, it's not worth it. Like, if you want to have a curated night out, I guess it's probably worth it, but
For sure.
yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
So we
no.
were like, not that place. So we found one of the bars we liked that wasn't doing a cover. You could just go, but they
Nice.
have a pretty small interior and a huge exterior. We normally hang out outside, but the plan was get a table
Oh,
inside. But with it
okay.
pouring so much, we already knew it was probably going to be impossible to get seating.
Yeah.
It's pouring rain and there's a lot of drunk drivers in LA. And like
Oh gosh,
it
no
was just
thank
like
you.
the rain was thick, like, it was hard to see through, and it being
Yeah.
so dark, we just canceled on our friends because they were coming from Simi Valley anyway, it was just, like, a long drive.
Jeez, did they end up staying in Simi or did they
I
come
don't know what
down?
they did, they live in Van Nuys, I'm pretty sure because she was visiting family, and I'm pretty sure they still live in Simi, but,
Okay.
I don't know, so I'm guessing they were in Simi Valley, but it was just, like,
Mhm.
a lot, they were gonna have to pass their house to come hang out with us, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we were like,
I see.
yeah, we were like, "No pun intended, but we're gonna rain check." Just because it didn't seem to mix I didn't wanna be in the rain for New Year's, you know,
I
it's too
know.
cold.
It's so hard because it's always so tempting to be like especially with me and Tyson, like, not living by friends, it's like, socialize or not socialize? What do we do?
It's
Oh,
easy, right.
that did remind me, we did actually get to see friends in Arizona. Not to, like,
Ah, I
hijack your
saw!
question, but
No, 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 finish
yeah,
and
so
then I'll
that was
talk.
no, that was it. We had a lot of fun. We went
Which friends did you
to
see?
we saw a lot of film people,
Oh,
and
cool.
then well, it's funny because there's, like, 2 groups of people,
Yeah,
I call them, like, Tyson's friends that I met through Tyson, and then our mutual friends that we met in film school and working in LA, but they kind of knew each other, which I had no idea, but Tyson, reminded me that when he was doing his, like, school projects, his roommates, they were kind of involved because they used their apartment, and there's a funny story
right.
about a fire in their bedroom for a short film in college. Anyways, they know each other. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So you got to catch up with people.
We did. So that was
That's
like
so nice.
so much fun because,
Yeah.
we were corralling adults. I felt like a little bit of a geriatric preschooler, because my parents I'm like, come on guys, we're gonna be late.
Oh
So
God,
it,
yeah.
it was just fun to just exist and have
Yeah.
drinks with people. So anyways, that was it.
That's
Continue.
really cool. I love that. I think that's great. With us, we ended up staying home and we're like, we'll just rain check with people because we had seen a friend for lunch that day. It wasn't like we didn't go out, but it was like,
So you didn't
you
feel
want to
FOMO. You were
not
just
not
like, we're over
severely. I
it.
was like, man, it would be nice to go out, but at the same time, it was like I just felt so heavy and exhausted. Like we put on Pretty in Pink and I couldn't get through it. And so Josh was like, "How
Oh.
about you just sleep and I'll wake you up 5 minutes before midnight?" And I was like, "Okay." So
Oh,
we
that's
did just
sweet.
that. And then I'm like groggily being like, "Cheers," because he had little bit like we had like a sparkling cider and stuff.
Love
And then
it.
I watched some fireworks on TV and then I fell back asleep. And it was just like the night just felt so weird. And I was sweating so much in bed. I just did not feel good.
Oh
And then I got my
no.
period in the morning. So it made sense.
Not
So
fun.
that's why I couldn't stay up. My body literally was like shutting down because the period was on her way and they were like, you need to
Yes.
prepare.
Dude,
So
I've
yeah,
had that happen to me where I'm like, cause I'm not a nap taker,
right.
and I was like on my period, and I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore at like 3
Hmm.
p.m. in the afternoon. So I totally understand.
It's so weird. I mean, those of you that have periods will know. Like, generally, my periods aren't severe. I don't get like cramps. I don't get like a lot
Yeah.
of what other people experience that have periods. And but when I do, it's like, oh, this is what they talk about. Like last night, I tried to get up off the sofa, and I just felt like the biggest pain. And
Oh,
it sucked. And the whole night, like if I moved in bed, it would hurt.
I hate that. I'm kind of
Yeah,
the same way. I'm not like where the typical period symptoms like cramps and stuff,
right.
but like I get severe migraines
Oh
and like
no.
back pain. I do get lower back pain
Yeah.
and it is just the worst. And sometimes you have worse ones than others. Like some
Yep.
months I'm like, "Oh, this one's not so bad." And then others I'm like, "Why do you hate me?"
Literally. Well, that's the thing. I always felt very like lucky and like I can't complain because
Yeah.
I know that my periods aren't bad. I generally have like 1 to 2 heavy days, a light day, and then I'm pretty much done. Like it's pretty
Yeah.
short for me. And I'm normally not in a lot of pain. The only thing that happens is that the day before or the day where I'm going to get my period, my legs will ache like crazy.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I like ran a
You know it's
marathon.
coming.
Right, but it didn't ache this time. So I was like, it did all this other stuff instead, but then last night it decided to ache like hell. And I was like,
Oh, I
oh,
hate that. I'm so
yeah, it was just one of
sorry.
those things. I was just like, this thing's annoying.
Mm.
But it's okay. But it makes sense why I couldn't stay up. But then to make up for it, we had these plans already, but I got a few puzzles for Christmas and I love puzzles.
Oh,
But
yes.
I'm been so behind on puzzles because I never like anytime I wanted to work on a puzzle, I would have to bring in like a table, like my poker table that folds
Yes.
out. But it's in the way. Like if I don't finish the puzzle in one sitting, it's just a big thing in the way. So I haven't been doing
Yeah.
puzzles for a long time. However, Josh got me a puzzle mat for Christmas. I am so
Oh,
excited
you
and
were
it's
talking about wanting something like that.
yeah, it seems like it works. It's really weird because they just give you a felt like sheet, like a felt blanket,
Interesting.
or fabric, whatever, and you do your puzzle on that, and then they give you this big long plastic tube that you blow air into, so it's just like a looks like a hot dog, like a blown up
Oh,
hot dog,
wow. Okay.
and then you put it at the edge of the felt, and then you very tightly roll it,
Oh, no
and
way. And
that's
it
all it
keeps your
is.
place of like where all the pieces are and stuff?
Yeah, because of the
No
tension, I guess, and then they give
shit.
you these ties to, like, Velcro so it stays closed.
That
So,
is
hopefully, we'll open
genius.
it after the podcast today to do more, and we'll see. Because Matt
Ah.
came over, so the 3 of us did a 500-piece puzzle, and we put on The Sound of Music because Josh had never seen it,
Oh,
and
I think I saw your stories.
yeah, well, Josh would very intentionally try to, like he said he would forward through the trailers growing up, so he tried to stay far away from Sound of Music at all cost.
You
So
just
this is
didn't had no interest in it.
100%. He was like, "This looks so dumb," and so he would not go near it. So Matt and I have been begging him to watch it for the longest time. Not that we think it's like perfect,
No,
but
but as a musical theater people, it's
well,
like
I
a
grew up with that.
classic.
I grew up watching that movie. So I was
Mhm.
just like, it blew my
I
mind
did
that someone hadn't
too.
seen it. Yeah.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so made him watch it. And as an adult, it hits different, I'll tell you. But
Oh gosh, I bet. I
I'm
haven't
just
seen
like
it in
some things I'm
years.
like, oh, this did not age well. And then some other things, it's just like, I mean, it's like I saw that I was watching something heavy historically as a
Yeah.
kid, but I don't think it hit me exactly how bad it was. I'm like, oh,
Right?
Nazis are pretty bad.
Yeah,
But
because wasn't it what year did it
it
take place? Was
it
it the
takes place in
20s?
1938. The film came out in
38.
1965.
I see. Yep.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, I
Isn't
do
that
remember some
crazy?
of that in
Yeah.
the movie.
And now I understand more the gravity of the Nazis coming in. I think as a kid, I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
the villains are coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But, the 3 of
Oh.
us hung out, we ate, like, popcorn and candy, had it on while we were doing the puzzle. It was a lot of fun.
Aw, I
It
love
Yeah, and that's a
that.
long
Such
movie
a
for us to
wholesome
not finish the
night.
puzzle. It was really sweet, and we,
Puzzles
last
and Sound of Music, like,
yeah,
how
it was
cute.
it was good, and so besides that, we've just been purging, having a little Marie Kondo moment. We went through the whole
Oh, I
kitchen.
love that. Tell us, tell us. So the
Yes.
kitchen.
We decided to not put pressure on ourselves, not like "Oh, today we're decluttering the house." Like, it was just like,
Yeah,
"Today we're gonna go through a few like, cabinet by cabinet in the kitchen and put, like, a
that's so
giveaway pile,"
smart.
and, yeah, and we did it together. We got rid of so many cups. We got rid of, presents people gave us that we never wanted, like, things like
Yep.
that. We got rid of just, like, little things, like, his brother gave him this gorgeous cast iron glazed deep pot, like, the heavy ones that are blue this one's
Oh.
blue.
Is it Le Creuset by
It
chance?
might be, I don't remember the brand. I'll have to look at it
Okay.
after and then I'll tell you, but it's gorgeous. It's very heavy, but it does we had another, like, deep pot that we weren't using that much anyway, but it's like we don't need 2 of them now. So,
Yeah.
getting rid of stuff like that, getting rid of extra pans, just all the little things, and, like, kitchen gadgets that we always thought we would use, but then we don't actually touch them, like,
Yep.
little things like that. So, it was
That
good.
feels so good when you do
Yeah.
it.
Oh my gosh, we pushed
Getting
ourselves to
rid
get
of
the tree
things.
down, even though I love having the tree up.
I know. I still have mine up, and
Mm.
I'm like, "I don't want it to go
I
up."
love it, but it's like,
It's
our
good,
house is
though.
tight,
It's
so I was
good.
like, when it went away, I was like, "Oh, wow, there's room again." But I
Yep.
do miss it already because I love just having the lights up, but it's
I
okay.
know.
So before puzzle night, we put all the Christmas stuff away, decluttered the kitchen. We're doing potentially today the hallway closet, which is gonna be big. So
Okay.
we're going through it. It's happening. So
Awesome.
every
Oh,
section of the
keep us
house will get
posted.
decluttered. Thank
I
you.
loved like, I'm, like, obsessed with decluttering. I love
Feels
it.
so
It
good.
does.
It's sometimes hard, but it's just like, I'm keep thinking of like the future. Like whenever we decide to move, this is just gonna make it so much easier because we don't need this stuff and it's a waste.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think for me, 2020 was like really a good year of decluttering and just
Yeah.
sort of like you said, like you don't have the biggest space and I really don't either, even though it's the
Mhm.
biggest space we've lived in. But it's
Right.
really just more about like, okay, how do we make this place work for us now? And
Totally.
sometimes you just can't own as many things as you have. So
100%.
that's
And that's
awesome.
just this is what it is. But things are good. Things are good.
Yay. Oh my
So
gosh.
Holly, I'm very excited about this episode today.
Me too. I can't wait, you guys. I think this is like honestly pretty timely. I was trying to think of something like that would really benefit listeners because this comes out on January 3rd.
Yes.
And yes, I'm very excited. So today we're talking about how to cure your winter blues with your
Yes. I
houseplants.
love it. Don't love being blue, but I love the topic because I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, feeling this hard for sure."
And I talk about it a lot. I have seasonal depression in the summer, but I also it creeps up, like, in January, after the holidays, when
Huh.
I know that, like I don't know what it is, when I know just, like, the holiday season is over, like, it already kinda started
Yeah.
yesterday. I was like, "I feel sad. No, no." Like,
No,
I
I
was,
know
like,
what you
trying really
mean.
trying
Right.
hard to just, like, work through it, but
Right.
so I just kind of thought up of some ideas that might help you guys. A lot of times too, when I get like seasonal depression or just feeling down, like I just get in a funk with my plants. So I was
Yep.
trying to honestly think of ways like for me to just sort of reignite the spark, I guess. And
100%,
I think I
100%.
came up with some good ideas. So you guys let me know what you think.
I think
And
you did too.
thanks. We can just jump right in. So what I want you
Please.
guys to do, this is a little exercise that I came up with.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this too. I haven't done it yet, but I'll do it with you. So
Okay.
I want you to take out a piece of paper, or maybe it's your iPad, whatever. And I want
Something
you
to write
to, with
on.
something to write on, without looking at your collection, wherever you are, just get comfy. Write down the first like 5 of your favorite plants that come to mind. So again, you may like remember
Ooh.
something if you get up and you go to another room, but the point is whatever just comes to mind. And those are the plants that you're going to focus on first. So
Ooh.
for
Should I
each
be a
plant,
test subject?
yeah, you want to do it?
Okay, I'll do it. Can I just like spit them out?
Yes.
Okay, so 5 favorite plants.
Yes. Of your collection.
Monstera deliciosa.
Mhm.
My is it called a variegated heartleaf? It's not called marbled, right?
Oh yeah, just variegated heartleaf.
Variegated
Yep.
heartleaf. Ooh, this is hard. Now I'm getting nervous. I'm gonna try I don't miss anything.
No, but that's the point. It's whatever comes to you first.
Ooh, my Hoya Irina.
Okay.
My Hoya, is it no, Macrophylla? Is that the one I have from Josie?
From Josie Macrophylla. Yep.
Macrophylla. And then I need one more. I'm trying not to peek at my greenhouse
I
because
know,
I can
I
see it in the
know.
reflection. Oh, that's so hard.
I mean,
Okay.
if you see a plant in your room, like it's fine,
A lot of stuff has died recently. So I'm like, oh, this one, I'm just excited for its journey. So I think right now it's a favorite. What is it? It's a hybrid, the Luxurians Radicans. Is that what I have?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's living in this tiny little Tupperware and doing great.
Love it.
Nothing's
Okay.
happening, but it's not dead.
Okay, so we have your 5 plants. So let's
Okay.
start with your Monstera deliciosa because she
Okay.
was first on your number 1.
Okay.
So when we're gonna go through each plant, but with the first one, we're gonna
Oh, I
write
remembered
out a
one. Damn
plan.
it.
What are
I remembered another one that I think
Oh,
I love more,
I
but it's
know.
okay.
It's okay.
Okay, my
We
Monstera.
don't
I'm listening.
Yeah. So we're gonna just come up with like plans for this plant. Whether it is repotting,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
you're gonna purchase that one Etsy pot you've been eyeing. Now I know
Okay.
yours in particular is very large and a lot of the pots on Etsy are small, but point being,
Well,
maybe
there's
yeah,
options.
and maybe you're gonna try out a new fertilizer. Anyways, point being, you're gonna write down a plan of which you want to do with these plants. And you're not gonna do them, but you're
Ooh.
just gonna write it down and try to like
Goals for each plant.
goals for each plant. Yep.
This is a good excuse to go to Marshalls or TJ Maxx and get one of their cute, super cheap, like empty journals and
Yes.
make it your plant goal journal while you're
Yep.
doing these exercises.
It's so true. And being that, you don't have to act on it because a lot of times, you're tired, you're
Right.
feeling down, but this could either be plans for January, it could be plans for spring, or it could be
Summer.
plans for tomorrow.
Right.
So, let me see. And that is, yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, also too, what I thought would be cool if any of your plants that you write down are cactus, you can also try and see if cactus fertilizer really does make a difference between regular houseplant fertilizer. So,
It
yeah.
was my Opuntia, the one that we both have.
Sunbursts.
Yes, that's one where I was
Is
like,
that
"Oh, I
the
didn't mention
one?
that one."
Yeah.
That's like my baby for sure. Oh,
Yes.
so with that said, is this exercise, what is it supposed to do? Just help you feel more grounded?
For me, it's just more about like getting excited about things. So even like
Okay. Oh, to
and
jumpstart, like if
the
you're feeling
jumpstart.
blue.
And the main thing is not so much thinking about the plants that quote unquote need your attention, or like maybe they're not doing so good or you have to deal
Right.
with. Just go with the ones that you inherently think of first.
For sure. For
So
sure.
that way it just kind of becomes natural. Like, cause sometimes I do forget of a plant that I own, but I'm like, wait, this is one of my favorites. But point
Yeah.
being is just like what comes to mind without having to think very hard.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So the second one, you guys, is this is where it might start to get a little woo, and that's okay. You don't have to do
Okay.
it. But I want you to, and I'm going to do this too, visualize yourself with your plants, repotting, watering, general care tasks. Because, like with winter blues, sometimes it just takes a lot out of you. So I think if you
For
can,
sure.
it's almost like how they tell you to imagine yourself as or imagine you as your best self. Like, what are you doing? What are you wearing? How are you
Right.
acting? And I feel like, it can kind of be the same thing. It's almost like a fake it till you make it.
For
So,
sure, for sure.
this may not work, but visualization I found works in a lot of other areas of my life. And I'm literally going to try and do that, especially when it comes to my greenhouse and my garden. I'm going to try and just like romanticize it almost and just visualize what does it look like me at my happiest self
Right.
doing these things.
Well, we've talked about that in other episodes, the power of romanticizing your life. And it's like,
Mhm.
it can extend to anything for sure. Because I think for some of us, when we're blue with our plants, it feels like a chore to have to pull out the soil, pull out this, because there's cleanup, there's all these different things. But
100%.
something that I've been wanting to do, which I think could be really fun if this is something that speaks to anybody listening, visualize and then set a date where it's like you're going to have a you day, like a Saturday, a Sunday, something like that.
Ooh, yes.
Start in the morning with, if you have to repot or work with soil, like do the plant stuff in the morning, have a cute lunch, and then
Mm.
do a like pampered day after. So then you can clean your nails if they got dirty. You can
Oh,
do a
that's
manicure or something, go in the
smart.
tub. So like do all the like physical
Dirty work.
self-care in the afternoon and do all the like the dirty stuff in the morning,
Oh, I
which is still
love that.
feeding the soul. Because
Absolutely.
I feel like sometimes I'll tend to like have a list of things I have to do, and the plants end up getting like farther down in the day.
Yep.
And then it's like 5 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I got to do this really quick. Versus like if you just wake up, go into your yard or to your kitchen table, wherever you work on plants, and just get into it. I think
Yes.
that's super nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think like it really hit home what you said about like you make a mess because it's like, okay, I need to repot this plant, but it's going to make a huge mess.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah, I think like, yeah, not waiting till the end of the day. And then maybe even if you can, like maybe there is a little corner in maybe it's your garage. Cause I know right now
Right.
it's winter for a lot of people. So it might be
Oh,
too
for
cold
sure.
to go outside, but maybe you have a shed, maybe you have a garage, or maybe there's like a tiled floor area where it's easy to clean up,
Totally.
you know?
And if it's not, I know a lot of people with winter, you're like not wanting to repot. So if it's not that, maybe it's like you use that morning to go through all your materials, to go through all your
Yes.
pots and declutter or just make them look
Yeah.
pretty. And then but I think making all that stuff in the morning is key.
Absolutely. So my next one for you guys would be to when you're feeling blue, but maybe you got to do some damage control, invite a friend over to help you do plant chores.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I definitely got a lot more done when you were over, for sure.
Me too. Like I even felt like doing projects on your plant collection, I was getting more done cuz I don't know what it is
Right. Oh,
about
because
it,
Holly
but
definitely just would just pot them for me and I would talk. It was perfect. It was the perfect plan, the perfect setup.
I would make my house calls, but this
There's
actually
some,
is.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Please. If there's something different to working on someone else's thing,
Yes.
like it can be something as simple as like when I'm nannying, I want the kids' rooms to be clean. I get all their dishes done, but
Yeah.
then at home it's like,
It's
but it's
so
like
true.
there's like a joy that comes with just taking care of other people. I think is part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too that I didn't really think of is like you can be that person for someone else, you know?
Mhm.
Like they always say if you're feeling sad or you're feeling down, like like helping other people is the most like selfish thing you can do because it actually makes you feel so good.
Right. But inadvert or advertently, you're making someone else's day better too. So it's just like, why
Yes.
not?
So, and having somebody come help you with doing your task that is a little bit hard, it's actually referred to as body doubling. And I learned this.
Oh,
It's
cool.
like a trick that a lot of people in regards to ADHD talk about if you have task paralysis, if you struggle with just starting a
Like
task.
me.
Me too. And so if you have
Ooh.
someone to literally just so this is another example of body doubling, but if you need to get some editing done on your computer and you're just like you can't do it, if you have a friend sit down next to you with their laptop getting work done, it just makes it easier for you to get work done. So
Like you're in this
body
together.
exactly.
Right.
Body doubling works. So have a friend come over. Maybe you have spider mites and you don't feel
Right.
like dealing with it, but if your friend comes over, maybe just to help you, or
Right.
like
For sure.
watering plants and you get to spend time with a friend on top of it all.
Yeah, which is nice. I think there's something to just having someone there with you. Like this is a little different. Like I don't, for example, with laundry, if I
Yep.
don't start folding or like organizing them to go on hangers as soon as they're out of the laundry, it won't get done. Like it's really difficult for me to come back and do it a few days later. Like I need to
Yep.
just do it as soon as it's out of the machines. So what I'll do is, this is me being alone, but it kind of gives me that same effect as if a friend's there. I immediately put on a TV show and I just have to like string them up on
Mm,
hangers as I go. And there's
yes.
something about that to where I guess just my focus is pulled just enough to
Mhm.
where I'm not realizing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, I will say too, one of the best things I've ever sort of discovered is noise canceling headphones while doing house chores. And
Interesting.
yes, this is also going on a little bit of a tangent, but if you are like a highly sensitive person or even slightly sensitive, like for me doing the dishes, I never realized how irritating the clanking could be. And I put noise canceling headphones and I'm just
Interesting.
like, "Wah," just doing dishes and it doesn't bother me. Like,
Oh,
you
so you would get
know,
irritated before,
I
like your
would. I
ears
don't,
would. Interesting. That's so
yeah,
fascinating.
people with anxiety also can be irritable as well.
Yeah,
So having the noise canceling headphones, like, literally is a game changer, and even when I'm repotting plants or, like, cleaning up dead foliage or, like, honestly, sometimes
right.
watering is, like, really annoying to me too. So if
Yeah,
I'm just, like, grabbing all the plants, the pots are clinking around or the leaves or whatever, it's like the opposite of ASMR. You just don't wanna hear
right.
that
It
annoying
keeps things
sound.
very like focused and calm.
Yes.
I
So
love
I think that
that.
helps, and then you could either have a podcast, you could have an audiobook, or just music.
Yeah.
Or this is a little bit going
No,
on
it's
more of a
please,
tangent,
it's okay.
but you guys should look up brown noise on Spotify.
What's
It's like
brown noise?
it's like white noise, but it's slightly different. And basically, it does
Huh.
something to the human brain where it keeps you focused. And a lot of
Mhm.
people with ADHD have said when they put the headphones on, like it just literally quiets the noises in their head. And it basically
Huh.
it's equal to what a quote unquote, I don't want to say like a non neurodivergent or a non ADHD person, how they think and how they just exist.
Interesting. I've
Yeah.
never heard of this before.
Yeah.
That's
So
really cool.
I've done that with like editing or with like really boring tasks, but I do kind of need to focus more than if I were to have a podcast on.
Right, because a
So yeah.
podcast, you can find yourself just listening to the conversation and not
Yes.
doing anything.
And not paying
Right.
attention.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there because if you have to get a task done, try that.
That's really cool. Wow. I literally had no idea that existed.
It's really cool. I like it
That's
a lot.
that's so cool.
Well, number 4, this is kinda going
Love
back to what
it.
you were saying, Angelique.
Yes.
Take some time to declutter your collection.
Literally got rid of my Hoya compacta yesterday.
Oh, you did? The one with
Ye
the mealies?
Holly, it was like it was starting to feel like it was more white than green. Like it was fully infested. It's a
Oh, poor
miracle,
thing.
knock on wood, that none of my plants have it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I got
yeah,
very lucky because I bought that with the intention of it hanging above my sink, and that's
that's right,
what
and you
it
have
was, so it
plants
was
there.
never close to plants. My
Oh, you don't have
water
plants there,
no,
that's
I
right.
only have my watermelon Dischidia, but it's like they're like 2 feet separated from each
Yep.
other, and
Opposite window side of the same window, right?
maybe less, maybe even a foot away, but it was enough to where I guess they weren't jumping over, you know?
They're
Thank
just flying to
I don't
the other
even know if
plant.
I don't know if they jump. They just look like cotton. It's really
I
gross.
know,
But
right?
I told my neighbor because I gave it away on Buy Nothing, and it's the one lady that seems to always take my dead plants. I told her I was like, I think this is a great propagation process project, but
Yeah.
this thing needs to get like underwater soaked to get
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
these
yeah,
bugs
yeah.
out. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna cover it in alcohol and leave it outside for the rain and see if the rain
There you
can do
go.
it. And I'm like, we'll see. And I was like, and if not, just chop the hell up of it and then put it on moss and just see what happens. But like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or you
it was just
chop the base.
there was just no way to clean it. I was just like, I don't have the time to really spend hours getting into every curl.
Those crevices are gnarly.
That it's a hard plant to recover from pest wise just because of how it is. And like
Did you ever try systemic granules?
I did. I believe I
Ah,
did.
damn. That's
They
like my Hail Mary. I'm like, "All
Well,
right."
yeah, I'm
Like,
pretty sure I did because I had to treat some other plants for different bugs.
yeah.
Maybe I didn't. I thought I did, but I was just like, you know what? I'd rather just buy another one that's for sure in the clear than like
I totally get
I
it.
really want this plant, but every time it just gets gross. So I'm just like,
Aw.
we'll see. But yeah, decluttering's great.
It really is. And what I would suggest is instead of thinking of like when you start your decluttering process, instead of thinking, what do I need to get rid of? Think of what you want to keep. And I learned this from Marie
100%.
Kondo's book. She said, don't focus on what you want to get rid of in your life, but really focus on what are the items that you love. So think about,
Yeah.
maybe it's your Monstera Deliciosa. Think about how much you love her and you want to keep it.
Yep.
Or for me, I think about my Anthurium beachii.
Oh, there she is in the background.
Yes,
So good. It's gotten
or
so big.
it has, oh my gosh. Or I think about my little tiny, like, Hoya propagations, So,
Right.
and then, like, when you do declutter your space, like, you end up feeling so rejuvenated
For
anyways. Like,
sure.
if you can push through, I know it's really hard, like, especially when you're feeling down or feeling blue, but if you can push through, after the fact, you just feel so good. And it reminded me of this video I saw from Wild Fern. I think this was like maybe a year and a half ago, and she had just moved. She basically got rid of, like, I want to say more than half of her collection.
Oh,
And she was just,
wow.
yeah. Whoa, I just started to choke. She
Holly's dying.
I'm fine. Anyway, she was talking about just how rejuvenated she felt and excited again about taking care of plants.
Yeah.
And because she had such a smaller collection than what she had been sort of accustomed to, sorry,
That's okay.
she was like looking for plants to water, looking for things to do. Like, who
She was
needs
ahead of the game now.
fertilizer? Who needs this? And so I
Right.
think maybe if you're feeling down, that could definitely, kickstart the love again.
Oh, that's really cool. And I think that's a nice way to kind of reset because I think sometimes it's easy to be like, oh no, I had so many and I failed. And it's like
Right.
looking at it as a negative. But I think like there's some people's homes I go into where I know they're plant lovers, but there's only very specific plants. And it's really nice because it feels very intentional.
Yes.
It doesn't have that over jungle feeling that we've talked about before. And it just seems
Yep.
like oh, I can tell that they're getting the right amount of care because there's time. Like there's 10 plants
Yes.
versus 50, for example. And I think it allows you to then slowly introduce new plants more intentionally. And I think it's
Yes.
nice.
It's really nice. Also, too, for me personally, when I do declutter a plant or maybe it dies, whatever, I almost feel like more proud of myself to have less plants because I know where I've been to where I've had way too many, not
Right.
based on any type of like number, but just for myself,
For
way too many.
sure.
And now I'm like proud of myself and I'm like, wow, I only have 10 plants in my bedroom. What?
This
You
is
know?
amazing. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Well, the very last one, you guys, is take a break. If you have winter
Oh,
blues
yeah.
and you don't want to look at your plants, don't look at them. Like, just
Yep.
take it, take a step away from a while. Like, you can come back in the spring, feel good, just doing the bare minimum to keep your plants
Right.
alive or not. And I
And
think,
yep.
oh, go ahead.
No, no,
Sorry.
no. I'm agree. I love it. I'm
I
in.
think, like, if you can focus on self-healing or other hobbies that are currently, you're gravitating towards, I
Sparking more
feel like
joy.
exactly, and, pay more attention to your friends and family, like, again, it's okay to do the bare minimum too, like, if
That-
you just wanna water a plant, but maybe it needs fertilizer, maybe it needs to be repotted, I mean, which is more rare in the winter, but, maybe it just needs more,
Well,
but
this
you
applies too if you have seasonal depression like you do, like in the opposite season,
yes.
you know?
Yes.
For sure.
So, like during the summer, I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to my plants. Like it's kind of sad, but like I just didn't. I did very bare minimum.
Right.
But now that the outside weather is bearable, I'm like, okay, like what can we plan? And you guys will get there too in the summer. But if you need to just ignore them during the winter time, and hey, some of them might not no longer be with us, but that's okay because think of it as decluttering.
And that's the thing, it's like there you know what, your plants will be there when you're better, and if they're not, RIP, it was
Yeah,
nice, but, like, you can always get more, you can always just focus on what's left, like
yeah,
when my alocasia greenhouse kinda fell apart, like, I'm just focusing on what's left and seeing what I can save, and that can be
yeah.
healing as well, and I think too, just it's okay if you don't have the capacity to get rid of them while they're still alive, but if you do, just get rid
Right.
of them before they deteriorate because someone else has a shot at it, and then you can still heal from whatever you need to heal from,
so true. Like if you know you have a fern and you're like, I can sense I'm not going to be mentally capable to deal with this, and it still has green leaves, so let's just put it on by nothing. Or
right. Don't
just,
worry about the money. Yeah. Some people are like, but I paid so much for it. I need to make my money back. And I'm just like, the thing is, like, I'd rather it just have a chance at this point. Sometimes I just let it go and I take the loss financially because I'm like, why? Like, why am I going to hold on to this Hoya, for example, like the compact? I paid $20 for it, $15 for it.
Yep.
And it's like, it's getting worse every day. And it's like, it doesn't make sense to just try to make my 15 back. You know what I mean?
Yes. And you're also, if you think about it, they go into this a lot with a lot of decluttering books, but think about the money you're spending on storing whatever it is. Like think about the money
100%.
on the grow lights that you're using,
Yeah.
or the money on
The water.
the water, the energy, the fertilizer,
Mhm.
whatever it is. Like
Totally.
at a certain point, the money's already spent. Like your
Right.
health is way more important.
And it's sometimes nice if you're dealing with seasonal depression and like you keep seeing the plants that aren't doing well that you feel like you're not going to ever get back to. I've learned it's nicer to get rid of them because then I don't see them dying anymore. And it has
Yes.
truly made me feel better. And then, it's nice when you get that message being like, it came back,
Oh, for
and it just
sure.
feels good.
It's so true. And I think there's been times where like I've been gifted a plant and they're like, it's just not doing good. And then I'm like, well, now it's doing really good. So let me give you a cutting of your plant. And now you're in a better
Right.
place to like take care of it. So
Totally. And you can like spread the
yeah,
love back that way.
100%.
I love
Yeah. Aw.
it.
Well, I hope this gives you guys a little bit of light in the dark, cold winter.
Oh, she's a
It's going to be
poet, this one.
I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
Well, it sounded like in Peaky Blinders they say, I think there's a saying, I think it goes, how is it? It's in the bleak midwinter is something that is said a lot, so it reminded me of that.
Aw,
Well, if you guys ever
nice.
watch the show, just look out for
Yes.
it.
Well, where can the people find you, Angelique?
The people can find me that's the other one, at Sucker for Plantas with 2 C's. And you guys can catch the podcast at Boozy Botanical Podcast on Instagram as well. And I think that's it. And then you
And
obviously
you
can
can find
eat.
me
Oh, yeah,
at
please.
Concrete Botanical on TikTok and at Concrete Botanical _ on IG.
Awesome. And if you guys want to collab, you can always email us at boozybotanicalpodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us directly on Instagram. We try to be quite responsive.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, Holly, right?
I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for another episode of Boozy. We love you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And cheers.
Cheers.